And good afternoon to the Friday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this 27th day of February, day number 15.
I got to put that in there.
There you go. Day number 15 of our get-together. Can I have a little volume on the headset, please? May I have just a
I've got it backed out, man.
A smidgen more. How's that? Is that all right? Is that too loud
blow
for you?
me away.
I know, but I'm deaf, so.
You are deaf.
Can you hear it? Is that too loud for you?
No, I'll be all right.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon. Welcome. Our show brought to you by Bracken Asphalt Maintenance, Max Medicine Mart, Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. You're going to join us here in a few minutes. Vito's, we were there last night. We'll tell you all about that. We grubbed up pretty good, as they say. And we'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. We did go, took Mrs. V and had a pleasurable evening. Very good food and fellowship. Cherokee Barbershop, we'll talk all about that today. Our buddy Gator. Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Book Lovers Warehouse, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics on board. Oh, boy, the big time way. We got him signed on today. And also Wells Fargo Financial Network. Our buddies, again, Bedford, Colvin, Taylor, and Wells. The good folks, again, at Wells Fargo Financial Network in downtown Kingsport. Our verse for the day, we started off with telling you, as this show is dedicated to the one that hung on the cross for us, for you and I, for all of us. None of us deserved it, of course. Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Pretty strong. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God, which means, what's dismayed mean? Don't fret. Don't get tore up. Don't get worried. I will strengthen you and help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 41:10, our verse of the day, here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Well, you remember back in the day there was a TV show, Car 54, Where Are You?
Yep,
remember that show?
Yep.
All right. NASCAR, car number 44, Where Are You?
It's gone.
Unprecedented. Man, this is crazy. I love it. Travis Quaffle without a race car for the Sprint Cup Series this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Authorities are investigating the theft this morning of the Team Extreme number 44 car from a hotel parking lot in Morrow, Georgia.
It's pretty sad when you're a one-car team and you got to back up.
5:34 this morning, the parking lot of the Drury Inn, again treating the car's disappearance as a stolen vehicle. Team Extreme Racing owner John Cohen, who was not at the track, again said they'll have to withdraw from Sunday's race. Quaffle, again, is the driver, and so they stole his car as it was in a trailer hooked up to a dually in the parking lot at the hotel. So the car for Atlanta went down Thursday night in a closed hauler towed by a dually. And so they have him on video surveillance, but this guy, whoever it is, or people, I should say.
Sounds like something right out of a movie.
Stole the car. Oh, me. They sold the black 2004 F-350 pulling a white trailer. Both had New Jersey tags. Overall value of all the vehicles, including the $250,000 race car engine parts, is between $350,000 and $400,000.
Wow.
So Cohen, the owner, is hoping that because it's a race car, which can't really be sold without someone knowing where it came from. You think? Hello.
Can't really take it apart for parts now, can we?
That authorities can recover the car. So anyway, it was a hotel located near a highway, people knowing the race was nearby. So anyway, this guy can't race. I mean, he's out. He's got other cars, but apparently they're not going to bring another car down. I don't know why that would be. But
so they're going to find that stuck somewhere on the side of the road.
Stripped.
Well, you can't really strip a NASCAR. I mean, there might be some parts you could take off of it. But, for all practical purposes, they can't do anything with it. Who are they going to sell it to? Where they're going to – it's hot car. It's so identifiable. So they'll find it on the side of the road. And
you got to know some rednecks somewhere going, hey, watch this. We're going to steal a car. Or if it was unmarked, I mean, I guess somebody may have known it. Maybe it was an inside job.
Look what we found.
Look here. Look here, Horace.
Take my picture. Let me get in it.
Look here. So they stole the NASCAR car out of the parking lot this morning in a hotel parking lot. And so I'm trying to scan here real quick on the story why he can't go get another car. I know they got more than one car. Here we go. Cohen said he used to own a truck company, was worried about ice in Atlanta on Wednesday night, so he sent the hauler to the track early without the race car.
Oh, gosh.
The team didn't have the car ready after the team had wrecked the car in the Daytona 500 qualifying. Had to spend time a week ago getting a new one prepared for the Daytona 500, so they're down in cars. All right, that explains it.
This could be inside. Think about it.
It's an inside job.
He sent this hauler down empty.
It's an inside job.
They knew there was going to be somebody. Yeah. They're either pulling a bad prank or somebody's really got it out for him and knew something and took it.
As they say back in the hills of West Virginia, there's a rat in the woodpile. This is an inside job. Somebody knows it. So, anyway, he says, I've got a decent staff, not a big staff. It's getting frustrated. I've got 4 cars at the shop now. So, anyway, bottom line is if you see, who would you call? I guess you call, I don't know who you would call. If you find a missing.
If you see a black race car with 44 written on the side of it, just call 911.
A black 2000 Ford F-350 pulling a white trailer going down the highway with New Jersey tags, I'd call 911. And you know what? For all we know, it could be up in here somewhere. You don't know.
It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. Obviously, it is. It ain't in the parking lot.
Yep.
And it's not at the track. So, again, that's tough news with Travis Quaffle. A bizarre story unfolding, obviously, in Georgia. So, he is out, won't be able to go. Let's see. We do have practice going on. Practice happened this morning, the Xfinity Series at 10 and 11:30, starting right now as we speak. The Sprint Cup cars rolling off for the first time for this weekend. We'll find out how they go in the practice session. They'll go to about 2:30, and then you have Camping World Truck Series practice today. Then at 5:30, they'll come back, the Sprint Cup drivers, and try and nail down the pole. The Coors Light qualifying for Sunday's race. That'll be at 5:30 this afternoon. Again, Kevin Harvick was on the pole a year ago, did not win the race. It was won by Casey Kane, so that's what's going on in Atlanta today. Practicing as we speak. Sprint Cup drivers out on the track again at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Basketball last night. Did you see where Kevin Stallings went off on his player?
Yeah, I watched it.
The Vanderbilt Commodore coach got very animated.
Yep. And they didn't get a bleep in there quick enough.
No. I'm blanking, going to kill you. Now
the part that he says I'm going to kill you was bad enough.
Yeah, but they didn't get the beeper in time.
No.
Ooh.
And this was after the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were shaking hands.
So the Vanderbilt had won. Of course, in defense of Kevin Stallings, he had every right to be upset with his player.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he handled it was inappropriate.
Mm-hmm. Coming up, by the way, we're going to hear back to NASCAR real quick. We're going to hear from David Ragan coming up here in a few minutes, talking about being in Kyle Busch's ride this weekend. Also, they tested yesterday. We'll hear from Carl Edwards and also Kyle Larson a little bit later on the show. Also, we got the quiz show coming up. Woo-hoo. I'm asking my boy Horace.
I'm going to be challenged.
Oh, you're in trouble. You're not just going to be.
You really sweated this out, too. I know you probably picked some real hard questions.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Because I've been joking with you all week long.
Yes, you have. You've been kicking me around. I'm thinking, okay.
It's going to come back and get me.
Every dog has his day. So we got game trivia, sports trivia, and movie trivia today out of the 5 questions. So also later on, checking with Amy Boyles from the Kingsport Town Center. Again, coming up tomorrow is the big open house car show at the Kingsport Speedway. All that coming up again later on in the show. And we're going to check in with Jim Cline coming up here in just a few minutes. Vanderbilt beat Tennessee 73-65. You told me you watched that and said Tennessee, did you say looked pitiful in the second half?
Tennessee had a 13-point lead.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then they came out in the second half and got outscored 31-7 out of the chute. It was a totally different team. It was pathetic. Now, my wife says, well, they got good shots off. They just didn't hit them.
31-7? They got outscored. This is a Division I college basketball
team. Second half, yeah.
31-7?
Yeah.
You talking about for the whole second half? Or
well,
just
for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the second half, yeah.
They scored 7 points?
That's all they scored.
I'm telling you, I've told you this. Of course, I know he took over a program. It was rock bottom, but I don't know. We'll reserve judgment, see how he does in the tournament.
How you could have these players come out and be two completely different teams. Now, give Vanderbilt credit. They came out, and they had the bad first half.
I love it. You get jacked up, your voice goes up octaves.
You like it?
And they can't see you're more animated over there. You're flailing hands, and there you go. So 31-7, that's not good.
No.
That is not acceptable. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, give them credit. They came out and had a different game plan in the second half. And, I think they had at one time 9 out of 11 threes. Just bam, bam, bam. Couldn't miss.
Now, back to the story. The players were exchanging pleasantries at the end of the game, and apparently this kid's name was Wade from Vanderbilt, went over and got up in the face of one of the Tennessee players.
Evidently they had some words on the court earlier in the game.
Had a little brush
carried
up.
on after the game.
There we go. And so the coach goes over and screams at him. I didn't see the video. Did he pull him off of him or just yell at him?
I think it was, you really didn't have to pull him off of him because he'd already passed and it was over with, but he overheard and saw it. So.
Yeah. So he apologized. But the first thing the press conference says, a young man's last name was Wade, and he said, this kid's got to learn how to play in the program. I mean, he started throwing off on me a little bit. And then he said, but, what I did was wrong. And he said, when I said I'm going to blank and kill you, I don't mean that in a literal sense. And people understand
they do that. But
and the kid said it's no problem. I mean, the guy was in the heat of the moment. He apparently broke a rule, went over and was getting up in the Tennessee guy's face. And so anyway, they're trying to make a big deal about this today. It's always somebody trying to make a big deal out of something. So now I read where there's some, it's a racial thing. It's a white coach.
No.
I said, no.
It's all about sportsmanship, and
that's the heat of the moment.
It's big in Stallings, and
there you go.
This kid violated the rules and didn't show sportsmanship, and that went all over him.
Bucks lost a tough one and lost to the Citadel down in Charleston, 74-73, and the Bucks again they fall to 16-12, so they kind of hurt their chances for a high seed next week in the tournament. Lady Vols got a big win. They
beat Georgia.
Yeah, beat them by 11?
Yeah, but Georgia wasn't expected to be as tough as they were. They lost their star player, but they came out and fought Tennessee pretty good for most of the game.
It's the Tom Dillard Sports Show. Let's run down some high school hoops. It's been a while since we can tell you. We had basketball last night, but we did, and we'll start in Virginia. Let's see, the boys' side Conference 48 tournament. Twin Springs beat J.I. Burton. Eastside beat Castlewood. In the Conference 40 tournament, Gate City defeated Lebanon, and Union defeated Virginia High. So tonight it's Gate City and Union. That'll be at Virginia High at 7:30 tonight for the Conference 40 tournament championship. The Conference 48 tournament championship will be at the Convocation Center, UVA Wise. Twin Springs will battle Eastside at 7:30 tonight. Now that is in Virginia. On the girls' side in Virginia, you had Gate City defeating Union, and Wise Central's ladies defeated Lebanon in the semifinal of the conference tournament. And then, let's see, you also had action there. You had Castlewood defeating, make sure I get this right. Gate City beat Union, and Wise Central defeated Lebanon. So tonight you have championship games. You have Gate City and Wise Central at 6:30 at Wise Central High School. And also you have Castlewood's ladies against Clintwood's ladies at 6 o'clock at UVA Wise in Virginia. Now in Tennessee, we're going to crank it up and get going. It's good news. They're going to play basketball tonight. And let's see. Let's give you the Tennessee compliments of the Johnson City Press. Let's see the boys' action, AAA tonight. Science Hill, Jeff County, 6 o'clock. These are all 6 o'clock starts. Nope, I just said wrong. 6 o'clock, Science Hill, Jeff County. 6 o'clock, Sevier County at Tennessee High. 6 o'clock, Dobbins Minute travels to South Doyle. 7 o'clock tonight, Crockett and Jonesboro to battle Morristown East. All that's in AAA. And AA boys tonight, Elizabethton and Granger at 4 o'clock, Greenville and Sullivan South at 5:30, and the semis of the AA tournament at the Dyer Dome at Bluff City. And the single A tournament tonight going on. These are still at the satellite locations. Berea Christian will play at South Green, Northview Academy at Hampton, and University High at Cosby on the boys' side. Girls basketball tonight. Finally, they're going to play South Doyle and Science Hill. After 2 weeks, they're going to get this one in. They'll play at 6 o'clock tonight in Johnson City at Science Hill High School. And the single A's today, you have South Green and Cloudland and North Green and Hampton at 5 and 6:30 for the ladies. Those both being played at Chucky Doak in Afton, Tennessee. And Tri-Cities Christian Schools. Their ladies won big yesterday over Central Baptist in the quarterfinals 55-11. And also the gentlemen won last night. They defeated South Haven 56-41. So Tri-Cities Christian girls in the tournament playing Pleasant View at 4:30 Central Time this afternoon in the semifinals. 4:30 Tri-Cities Christian and Pleasant View. And the boys, Tri-Cities Christian and Macon Road play at 7:30 tonight. And the semifinals, those are at Central Times. And good luck to all those teams. So finally back on the hardwood playing some basketball. So playing some basketball, and it's good. And, of course, the sectional is going to be Monday. And did I see where they're going to play basketball on Sunday? Is that right?
I think it's what you said. Or what you mentioned it before the show.
Sunday, March the 1st, Northeast Tennessee Region 1 AAA Tournament of Dobbins Minute of the Championship at 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't open up a precedent or set a precedent. But
you know what I told you?
I know it.
There's going to come a day in our society where Sunday's not going to be a sacred day for sports anymore. They'll be playing.
No, it won't be a sacred day for anything. No. It's just another day.
There you go, which is kind of where it's going now anyway. Yeah. Remember the day when they had the blue law back in the day when everything was closed on Sunday? Everything.
Yeah.
Couldn't go get gas, couldn't go to the store, couldn't do anything. Yeah. It's all closed on Sunday. It was the old blue law. It wasn't that long ago in West Virginia, too, and it was around here at one point, too, right, the blue law? Yeah. So
everywhere.
Anyway, basketball on Sunday at the Buck Van Ness Dome for the Region 1 AAA Girls Championship at 2 o'clock on Church Day. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll come back and check in with Jim Cline from Jim Cline Farmers Insurance as we say thank you on this Friday for listening and watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that it's smart to replace washing machine hoses every 5 years? What if you didn't know that you might need extra coverage for more expensive items? And what if you didn't know that teen drivers are 4 times more likely to get into an accident? So, the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you for being with us on this Friday afternoon, Feb 27, 15th day of our Fun and Frolic. I'm awful proud to be here. And again, we welcome aboard our buddy Will Graybill and the great folks at Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics starting Monday on here in a big-time way. Also got high school baseball coming up very soon. I think our first game is March the 9th, which would be, what, a week from Monday.
Yeah, not long.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, will you be around?
It'll be snowing.
Will you be in town that week?
That Tuesday. Monday I'll be here, but Tuesday I'm going to be. I'm going to be running away from you for a little while. I'm going to go southwest for him.
Learning curve, I guess.
Yeah.
You think I can go out and do a game? Think I can pull it off?
We'll see what we can do. We'll try to get you weaned into it.
Weaned into it? Okay. That's not real encouraging. That's not encouraging at all, as a matter of fact. So
we'll get you there.
All right. So we've got high school baseball coming up again on March the 9th. We're going to now we can release the schedule. We can put it on the internet, can't we? Can we put it where people can see it? The actual hard copy schedule somewhere?
We'll find
Facebook,
somewhere to put it somewhere. Yeah.
See, that
mine's turning. I'm trying to think.
You looked over your glasses like you just threw me a curveball. So
I'm just trying. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do it, but we'll figure something out.
All right.
We'll get it up.
Yeah, because we will have that ready for you on Monday, the composite master baseball schedule. Got a lot of games coming in March and April, and love calling high school baseball be internet audio only. It'd be like, I guess, doing play-by-play on the radio.
Yeah,
but,
basically the same thing.
But that's okay.
Just do through live stream.
Yeah.
But the bonus of that is it will always be there.
Stay up.
We can stay it up. We can put it in as a podcast. We can do whatever we want to with it. How's that?
I like it. I like it a lot. Premium Motorsports, by the way, a new driver is going to be on the track this weekend, or a different driver. Brendan Gaughan, the number 62 Premium Motorsports. They purchased the assets from Tommy Baldwin Racing. He went out of business, apparently, and so they changed the car number from 36 to 62, and Brendan Gaughan will try and qualify this weekend again in Atlanta. Also, we told you earlier in the week, Brett Moffitt will be driving the 60th anniversary Michael Waltrip Racing for Aaron's Dream, the Aaron's Dream Machine Toyota 60th anniversary of that company. The 55 ride this weekend, the Toyota for Michael Waltrip Racing. Vickers, we heard from him yesterday. He'll be in the car next week in Las Vegas. But this weekend, Brett Moffitt will try and qualify it and get it into the starting grid for Sunday's race. Again, the Folds of Honor Quick Loop 500, which is a really cool thing. Foldsofhonor.org, they provide scholarships and assistance to the sponsor and children of those killed or disabled in service to America. I love it. And so you can go to the website foldsofhonor.org and check this organization out. I had no clue what it was till they announced it was going to be the name of the race in Atlanta this weekend, providing scholarships and assistance to the spouses and children of those killed or disabled in service to America. That's awesome. All about it. Yep. There's our flag back here behind us. And, by the way, Horace told me maybe this weekend I need to retweak the background a little bit. So we may do some shuffling around, kind of rearranging. I like what he said because he said the Raiders, this banner ought to be more prominent. I said it'll be more prominent. There you go. In honor of the Raiders, got my ball cap on today, so we will do that later on this weekend and kind of retweak the backdrop here for the first of the week. Any suggestions, anything I need to add up here that you don't think's there?
We need to put a curtain in front of your face, but other than that, it's been.
Okay, well, I walked into that one.
You did.
That's okie-dokie.
Left it open.
Yep. Man, oh, man, that's like a train coming down track. Meep, meep. Well, no, trains don't do meep, meep, do they? That's Roadrunner.
No.
Anyway.
Give it up.
Moving on, Tom. Thank you. All right, let's talk about Atlanta from a year ago. Top 10 of the race. Casey Kane won it. Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, Jr. I always say Jr. Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, Danica Patrick, her best finish ever in the Sprint Cup Series last year in Atlanta in August. Ryan Newman, Kyle Larson, about to hear from later here on the show. Eric Amarola and Greg Biffle, the top 10 in Atlanta. Harvick was on the pole but finished a distant 19th in that race a year ago. And then we go to your boy. Smoke finished 41st. Brad Keselowski 39th, and Clint Boyer finished 38th. So there's some of the notables that did not have a good week last year in Atlanta. So what's your take? What do you think the guy's going to do? We're going to hear from him here in a second, or actually in a little while. David Ragan, what do you think he'll do in Kyle Busch's ride this weekend?
I've never really seen David Ragan drive like Kyle, number one. Mm-hmm. I've never seen him race in that superstar persona. Mm-hmm. I'm going to predict he'll be in below 20.
Okay. He'll finish 20 or below.
Yeah.
That's David Ragan driving for Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
Okay, Regan Smith's going to be in the Kurt Busch car again this week for Stewart-Haas Racing. He's going to replace Kurt, who's, as we know by now, suspended indefinitely. So what do you think he'll do in the Stewart-Haas machine?
If Tony gets a hold of him, I think he might improve on what he did last week. I think Stewart-Haas Tony will get him. We'll get him up. I'm not sure he's going to be a top 10, but yeah. I think he'll have a better showing than he did at Daytona.
All right, so we'll see. And again, they're qualifying later today at 5:30 to be exact in the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm looking over the Bristol tickets, and we'll talk about that again in a moment. But Atlanta, the 43rd race, again, 325 laps will make it up on Sunday. Front stretch, 2,332 feet on that front stretch. Back stretch, 1,800 feet. They get with it pretty good, upwards of 180 into the 190-mile-per-hour range, flirting with 200 at times. 24 degrees in the turns. And, again, the track record, by the way, again, was set by 197.478 miles per hour in qualifying track record. Jeffrey Bodine back in 1997, so 197 plus was the track record qualifying speed. The youngest race winner in Atlanta, Kyle Busch back in 2008 was 22. The oldest race winner, 1993, was Morgan Shepherd. He was 51 when he won the race in Atlanta. He is on a part-time ride in the Sprint Cup Series for the last couple of years. The youngest pole winner, Texas Terry Labonte, 1981. He was 24.
That Kellogg's car.
I do too. I sure as heck do. He could drive. And the oldest pole winner ever in Atlanta, back in 1993, the old Skull Bandit, Harry Gant, was 53 when he qualified to run first in the 1993 race.
Green and white bandit.
There you go, the oldest. Oh, let's read you a couple more statistics in Atlanta. Most wins active in Atlanta. Bobby Labonte was 6. Jeff Gordon's got 5. The most poles, they'll qualify later today. The most poles of active drivers Ryan Newman with 7 poles in Atlanta. And the most wins all time in Atlanta, who do you think it was?
Most poles?
No, most wins all time. Most wins all time in Atlanta, period.
Darryl Waltrip.
Close. Try another one.
Dale Earnhardt.
Bingo. Good job. 9 wins all time for the late Dale Earnhardt Sr. So pretty cool stuff, and that's, again, what's going on in Atlanta here, again, for the racing today. Again, practice is out as we speak, and they'll run until about 2:30. The Camping World Truck Series practice at 2:30. The Coors Light pole qualifying for Sunday's race for the Sprint Cup Series will be at 5:30 this afternoon. Are you ready for the quiz show? First, tell me about Cherokee Barbershop, would you please?
All right. Cherokee Barbershop, South Rome Street.
Don't get me tickled. Do I need to?
Gator.
You start out so somber. Cherokee Barbershop, South Rome Street. Go ahead, give me a testimony because you're there all the time.
Oh, yeah. I go in there about once every 2 weeks, get my head scalped. Now, I don't get it shaved. I get it scalped. There's a difference.
By design, right?
By design. And then get that shave about every other time. Almost every time, I guess. I have that shave, too. You put some nice warm towels on your chin.
Yeah.
You know, softens up them whiskers. Does it 3 or 4 times. And softens them up. Uses a straight razor. Shaves you. Then he sprays that cold water on your face.
Bristles up off your face.
Yeah. It opens them pores even more and brings out those whiskers and makes them stand up some more, and he'll shave you again.
I like it.
And, then that massage. He's got this big old vibrating massage machine.
There you go.
On the back of your shoulders.
8:30 to 5:30, I believe it is, Tuesday through Friday, and 8:30 to 1:30 on Saturday. Did I get it right?
I think that's close.
Yeah.
And you go in, of course, you got to buy $11 cup of coffee.
That's how much
But you get the haircut free after that.
Cup of coffee is $11. You pay for that, and you get to keep the cup. The haircut's free.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. Again, the South Rome Street right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm in Johnson City. When the barber pole's out, Gator's in. So I would assume he's in today. All right, let's hit it. Quiz show time at the OK Corral. Horace is going to be my contestant today. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
I love it. All right, quiz show time brought to you by Vito's.
Okay, hang on here a second.
There you go. And also brought to you by American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City. And again, we'll give him 5 questions. The categories are sports, movies, and game trivia. Uh-oh. I just messed up.
Uh-oh. That wasn't good.
I can't get – I'm trapped in my chair. Wait a minute. I got to get the big book out of here.
Uh-oh. Big book.
Oh, boy. All right. Pad some time. I dropped the book, and so –
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to get me, aren't you?
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm trying to find
I've been making fun of you all week, harassing you as you failed and laughing when you did.
Thank you. And
so you're going to get even.
Yeah, I dropped the book, and my apology. I had this silly thing, and so
well, why don't you just wing it like you did with Buzzer?
Yeah, because I have this, and I really want you to do well in this. So it's a Monopoly game.
That's ironic.
Hang on here. This is keep going. Let's see.
Can we play the quiz show theme again?
Why don't you do that? Yeah, because I dropped the book. My apology. Dadgummit.
Oh, here you go. We'll do it again.
There we go.
There you go.
Just keep playing until I get to where I need to be. Good grief.
Boom.
Oh, good grief. Keep going. All right.
Oh, man. You are.
Well, I had it. I dropped the book, and I apologize. I'm trying to find. Here we go.
You're sinking. You're sinking.
I got it. I found it. Here we go. All right. Yep. There he is right there. All right. Are you ready? Who are we playing for?
I don't know. Somebody off our Facebook page.
Okay. I want to do the rest of the questions. Oh, there you are. Okay. Somebody on the Facebook page.
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Let
me look here real quick. Let's go with Facebook.
This is tight today. This is good stuff here. I dropped the book. My questions fell out, but I've recovered, and he's getting ready to pick us one on our Facebook likes. Again, by the way, you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom Taylor Sports Show. You can like and follow. We appreciate that very much. We're also on Tunein Radio, iTunes. We're also on YouTube. And we're also now livestream.com, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So, okay. Yeah.
Well,
there we go. Nothing like a little padding for time here.
I tell you what, let's just play for old Hosey.
Who?
David Holtzclaw.
Oh, David Holtzclaw.
Yeah, let's just play for David. He's having a rough day today.
Yes, he is.
Let's just do that.
Let's play for Hosey, get him some free food and maybe a free oil change at American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Bells and whistles ready. Bells and buzzer.
I think so.
Question number 1, it's game trivia.
Game trivia.
According to the rules of Monopoly. Play a lot of Monopoly.
You like Monopoly.
I do like Monopoly, yeah. You and Mrs. V, you play?
No.
Never played it together?
Oh, I played when I was in high school, back when I was a kid.
Y'all don't do board games?
We
Not
don't do
much?
Board games.
Gotcha. According to the rules of
play
Monopoly.
other games.
He's going to lose. It's going to be good. You play what?
We play other games.
Okay. All righty. All right. Okie dokie. Where do we go from here? According to the rules of Monopoly, true or false, you collect money from the center of the board when you land on free parking. Is that true or false? Let me say that again. According to the rules of Monopoly, you collect money from the center of the board when you land on free parking. Is that true or false?
I'm going to say that is free money. Free money.
You collect money from the center of the board when you land on free parking. True or false?
Well, it's still free money if you want to get it from the center of the board. I'm going to say that is false.
False. Final answer?
Final answer.
Hit the bell. He got it. There you go. Good job. All right. Question number 2, sports trivia. True or false, looking for the year Tiger Woods turned pro as a golfer in 1996. Is that true or false? Tiger turned pro in 96. True or false?
96. Okay. Let's see. That'd be 10 years ago. Almost 10 years ago. Oh, no, that's 20 years ago. Let me think. I got to use some of that West Virginia math. West Virginia math. 96. Has he been doing it for 19 years?
Tiger turned pro in 1996. True or false?
19 years. I'm going to say that was a little too early. I'm going to say it was a little 1999, 2001-ish.
Okay. Final answer?
Final answer.
Hit the buzzer.
Oh, no.
There you go. Hit it. There you go. All right. It was 1996. Question number 3. Bill Russell, legendary Boston Celtic. True or false? Looking for the number. He won 11 NBA championships. True or false? 11 NBA championships.
With the Celtics?
Yeah, well, no, just here we go, splitting hairs.
Well, you said he's with the Celtics.
Please answer the question. Bill Russell won 11 NBA championships. True or false?
I'm going to say true.
True. Hit the bell. Good job, Horace. 2 for 3. Baseball trivia. True or false? Mark McGwire all-time home run category. True or false? Mark McGwire hit more home runs than Roger Maris. Is that true or false? McGwire hit more home runs than Roger Maris.
Now, if he's the all-time home run.
No. He's not the all-time.
That's what you said.
No, I said the all-time home run list.
Oh,
he's on the all-time home run list. Boy, he gets snippy. Mrs. B, he just gets snippy.
I think Roger Maris is behind him. I think he did hit more.
So here's the question. Mark McGwire hit more home runs than Roger Maris. True or false?
True.
You say true. Hit the bell. Good job. All right. It's 3 for 4. Good job, Horace. Here's the last one. Movie trivia. In the movie, Disney's movie, Cinderella, the prince is never mentioned in the movie. Or never named. In Disney's Cinderella, the prince is never named.
That is true.
That is true or false? You say true?
I say it's true.
Hit the bell. All right. So, 4 for 5.
Yeah,
you
thought you was going to get me there.
I did.
I almost got it.
I was going to whip up on you, but the only one got you was Tigers. Put away the magic trivia book, and so not too bad. Hit the theme music. No cigar today. Thanks to Vito's and also American Import and Auto Repair. Here we go. I love it. All right. There's the quiz show brought to you by American Import and Auto Repair and also by Vito's. We were there last night at Vito's.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what we had. You had what?
I had chicken parm on a big old bed of spaghetti with meat sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Appetizer was?
I had fried mushrooms.
Yeah.
And with that awesome horseradish sauce they got.
So there's different degrees of horseradish?
I think so.
Really?
This stuff was good. It wasn't too hot. Wasn't too sweet. It's
just right on.
Just right there. Man.
Horseradish and fried mushrooms appetizer.
And I tried to get you to eat one,
No.
and you wouldn't. Even Mrs. V jumped
Yeah.
in.
She even chimed in and says,
Yes.
"My goodness, you don't eat fried mushrooms?" And not really. Not my cup of tea. You've been on me all day. You got on me about that. Yesterday, today, you just made fun of me because I've never seen Star Wars. Or
You've not seen it? You're just not a sci-fi guy.
No, because Leonard Nimoy passed away.
Some of the best visual effects in movies come from sci-fi movies.
What's his name? Bach? What was his name?
Who?
Leonard Nimoy passed away.
Spock.
I was close.
Lived long and prosper. Yeah, he died.
Yeah. Is that the guy that did this?
Well, something similar to that. How about, here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Live long and prosper.
So he passed away today, and so our thoughts and prayers go to his family. But you were on me because I've never seen Star Wars or Star Trek. That was today.
No.
Last night you're on me because I didn't do fried mushrooms at Vito's.
You live a sheltered life,
I have.
Tom.
I live it. I guess I have. So
I'm trying to bring you out of this world that you've been living in for so long.
This big old West Virginia bubble. There you go.
You got a smartphone now.
I do have a smartphone.
You're into this techie stuff. We're on the internet.
Yes.
So I'm
YouTube,
working. Yeah,
you are.
We're working on it.
You brought me to a new galaxy. How's that?
There you go.
All right, and then let's see. You had chicken parmesan. I had the baked ziti. Mrs. V had the baked ziti. Had a little salad action, some great sweet tea, and it was all good at Vito's on Main Street. So, as a testimonial, you were a very satisfied customer coming out of there, right?
Yes, I was.
Mrs. V was?
Yes.
And I always am, but this is your first trip in, so good stuff, and we appreciate them very much again.
Nice atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. It's a great place. Vito's on Main Street in downtown Kingsport, right beside Pappy's Motorcycle, and right 2 doors down from Kingsport Cabinetry. Great folks.
Caddy corner from the old train depot.
Yeah, the old train depot. Exactly right. Easy to find. Right there on Main Street in downtown Kingsport. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll move on, check in with some of our guests. Got scheduled to be joined by Jim Cline, Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. Also coming up, got some NASCAR drivers. Again, our first one we'll hear from coming up in a few minutes is Kyle Larson, who did some testing yesterday in Atlanta. Also coming up, Carl Edwards and David Ragan. All that straight ahead. Come back with us on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no. Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Thanks for being with us on Tom Taylor Sports Show. Coming up, we'll check in with Carl Edwards again in Atlanta, see what's going on there, getting ready for the big race this weekend. Also, Kyle Larson. Also, a little bit later on, we'll be joined also by David Ragan, who is, again, taking over the Kyle Busch ride, who, again, had his second surgery yesterday on his left foot. Of course, had a compound fracture on his right leg. I think that means your bone's sticking out. And so they repaired that. And so this gentleman will be driving for Busch this weekend in Atlanta. Again, livestream.com is where we are right now. Just simply type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and there we be. We're also on iTunes, Tunein Radio, Stitcher phone app, and also YouTube.
Right.
So all four of those, and plus the livestream.com here today. So if you can't get to us today, listen to us live. A lot of folks go back and listen to us in the evenings or whenever podcasting,
yeah,
right?
Podcasting's great. They can download it and listen to it at their leisure.
Yeah, the whole show or parts of the show, whatever you want. We thank you because it is growing every day. Let's go to the ponies there, our buddy Jim Cline from Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, the #1 Farmers Insurance agent in how many states, my friend?
You always like to do this. We'll just say in this 3-state area. How's that?
3 states. What's hogwash? I know it's more than that. Is it like?
Well, that's 5 states.
Thank you.
Was the last count?
All right. It's Tennessee. Let's go through these. I want to write these down so I'll never ask you again. Tennessee
And Virginia.
He hates this. Go ahead.
And Alabama.
Yes, sir.
And Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And I guess I can't think. What's the 5th one, Sandy? Somebody's got to tell me. I can't remember.
Oh, South Carolina.
Ohio, that's it.
Ohio. All right. There you go.
You got it right.
Tennessee, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio, the #1 agent. There's a reason why. He's got a great staff, and I can only assume it's been a busy week with all this weather. Let's start with homeowners. What are some of the types of claims you've had to help folks with in terms of weather-related around the home?
Well, the biggest thing we've had on that right now has been the frozen pipes again. And, that's something that we do like to sit down and talk to people about and see what kind of coverages and policies they have. Most of your when I say your normal, but most of your standard preferred homeowners policies will cover the accidental discharge of water from a heating and cooling or plumbing system. And so that's an item that we talk about. But sometimes when people are shopping that price is important, but then they don't pay attention to what their coverage is, and they buy a home policy that's more of what we call a fire dwelling, and it doesn't cover water. So, again, we've had water lines busting and creating water damage and damaging floors and walls and ceilings and everything else. And so that's something that you want to talk about. And the same thing of ice, sleet, and snow, the weight of ice, sleet, and snow. You may have a carport or something, and it may be aluminum carport that couldn't support all this, and it has weighted it down and it fell. And so do you have the proper policy that covers damage to your home or any separate structures due to the weight of ice, sleet, and snow?
Now, again, we're talking to Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. So if you're a renter, if you don't have your own place and you rent, would it be wise to have an additional policy over and above where you live just in case their insurance doesn't cover something happening to your place?
And their coverage does not cover your personal belongings, and that's exactly this. I'm talking to a young lady right now that's buying her first home, but she ended up with a claim. We're always talking about what kind of claims he had, and that's what happened to her last year is just what we're talking about. Last January, there was a water line on the rental house that froze and burst and damaged all her personal contents. So when you're renting a place, it's always good to have, because the other thing is she couldn't live in the home either. It took them a few days to get things repaired for her to live in it. So your renter's coverage through Farmers Insurance is going to provide you additional living expenses. So it's going to help pay that hotel, motel, and some meal expenses because you can't live in that place, in the home you're renting, for 2 or 3 days till the plumbers could get in there, get it fixed, the water people could get in and get the thing dried out so that it was livable again.
We're talking to Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. 247-5400 is the number to call, or 423-247-5400. Again, licensed to obviously sell insurance, and he does. He's the #1 insurance agent based on volume. Is that correct?
It is. It's based on the volume of sales and production that we have in the agency servicing our customers.
And I'm a proud card-carrying member. He has covered my auto insurance for how many years? 10, 12, 15 years, I guess?
I'd say good 12 years.
Yep.
I've had to put up with you a long time. I mean, I've had you as a marvelous customer for a long time.
Man, I hear that a lot. That.
I'm sure you do.
I do. I hear that a lot. It's like, man, we've been stuck with you for all these years. So, well, let's talk about auto. Obviously, a lot of snow, a lot of ice. What are some of the situations you're dealing with, helping folks as far as their vehicles for this wintry weather?
Well, that's another thing that we talk about, and what coverages do you want? But what the biggest thing that's been needed right now is the emergency road service, because you went out to start your car and it wouldn't start because maybe that battery was just a little weak, and then this cold weather came in and it just made it go on out. So you needed a jump start to be able to get to the shop to buy you a new battery. You slid in the ditch. Hopefully you didn't damage the car, but you might have. But you slid in the ditch. You need help getting out. Those are things that's been very important. Of course, we have had a few slides around, and we all are trying to get to our jobs and do the right thing. and sometimes we get out there when maybe we shouldn't, and this black ice occurs when all this snow starts melting and refreezes overnight. We can't see it, and it makes us slide into someone else. So, do we have the proper limits of liability to take care of that? Do we want physical damage coverage to fix our car? But like I said, the biggest thing right now has been the roadside assistance, as well as glass coverage, your comprehensive coverage glass. I had a lady the other day that, she went to warm her vehicle up, and your rear defrost that has all that wiring in it, that you turn it on, and so she turns it on and thinks all's great and starts driving down the road, and all of a sudden it sounded like a gun went off. She thought somebody was shooting at her, and the whole back glass busted out. So
wow.
We are able to get her automobile with the towing that she had on there. We were able to get her car moved, and we got it to a glass shop because it needed to be inside where they could work on it. Can't work outside on this kind of weather on this glass. And we got it to the shop so they could replace that back glass and get her all taken care of and get her back on the road again.
Donald Jim Cline, Farmers Insurance, again, one of our great sponsors here on the Friday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. He's with us every day, and we have him on periodically because he does a dynamite job to be the number one agent in 5 states. You're obviously doing something right, and he does. And so to follow up with your homeowners, I've got this policy at the old homestead, so if something goes wrong, you go in and replace it, and I can never remember the name of it. I just know I've used it.
That's your home system and appliance.
There you go. Tell me about that because that's a great program.
It is a great thing because, I always talk about your homeowners is taking care of what we call covered perils. So, fire, lightning, wind, hail, riot, vandalism. But the home warranty, the extended coverage, is for the inner workings of your home. So if the electrical system goes out, plumbing system messes up, hot water heater, dishwasher, washing machine, oven, refrigerator, if any of that malfunctions, you call the 800 number. It's an alliance we have with American Home Shield, and they send out a representative. If they cannot repair it, they'll replace it for like, kind, and quality. So It's an excellent thing. You pay your service fee, which is, I think, a $75 call for them to come out. If they fix it and 2 weeks later the same thing messes up because it really needs to be replaced, you don't pay that again. And again, as Tom can attest, that if an item like that goes out, they'll help you choose one that's similar to it, and they drop ship it, deliver it to the house, and have somebody come in and reinstall the new one and haul off the old.
There you go, and I've had to use it myself with the microwave went on the blink about 4 or 5 years ago. So last question before I let you go. There's a lot of insurance companies out there. You have represented Farmers for many years. What do you think separates Farmers from the other XYZ insurance companies?
Well, I know a lot of people say it, but I will say it's superior service that we have. Farmers has the team and the finances. They're a very financially strong company to pay the claims, and that's what you're looking for in the event that you have. The company itself has been in business since 1928, about as long as you have, but not me. I've been here for about 21 years. But again, we have the network of the people to help you take care of you. If there is a situation, we have a toll-free number 24/7 if we weren't in office. But just like you said, during this storm, we were blessed to be able to get out, and I've been here all week to help guide people along. So Jim Cline Agency is here to help and guide you and direct you and take care of you, and Farmers has the finances and the personnel to back you up to cover and pay that claim.
Since I'm now an expert in social media, is there a website or how can we get a hold of you besides the phone number? Because I'm on the cutting edge of social media now.
If you go to farmers.com, you can look up Jim Cline Agency, or we do have, and you're going to ask me my web address, and I don't know my web address. I know my email is jcline, that's CLINE, @farmersagent.com, and you can email me and get a response back. But if you do go to farmers.com and you look up my agent, Jim Cline, it'll take you right to my website as well.
There you go. Great report, my friend. There's a reason why you're number one in 5 states, because you're awesome. You're number one in my book. You do a great job. And, Mr. Cline, have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you very soon, all right?
Thank you very much. You do the same.
Good man right there. I appreciate his friendship, and he does a super job. And tell you what, you can't get wrong. If you're number one in 5 states, now you think of all the Farmers agents in Tennessee, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio. This guy's Numerio Uno. He writes insurance in all those states. 423-247-5400 is the number to call. All he wants to do is he just wants a chance to quote you some insurance, homeowners, renters, of course, commercial insurance, the full package. He does it and does it well. at Farmers Insurance, one of our great sponsors. College football against the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Mississippi State coach Dan Mullen, getting himself a contract extension and a raise. Will now pay him $4.275 million per year to coach football for 12 weeks. Is that right, roughly?
Well, it's a little
12
more.
Saturdays?
It's a little more than that.
Yeah, but I mean, your resume is 12 Saturdays a year. So
you're hard at it for 6 months out of the 12 months.
Well, let's just go ahead and do that right now. Let's see if I can pull this off. Okay, I take 4.275. How many zeros do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if I can go another one. No, that's the means I can get divided by 12 games and.
You having trouble over there? You want me to get my computer out?
I got a 0.3, so that's not right.
That's not right.
No. Anyway, he's making a lot of money. Maybe Horace can help me out. I don't know.
I'll look it up in a minute.
Guided the Bulldogs to their first 10-win regular season in school history last season, as well as their first number one ranking ever. Spent 5 weeks as the top team in the polls, also ranked number one in the first college football playoff ranking in October. And he will make $4 million this coming season, which will be his 7th in Starkville. His new deal runs through the 2018 season and includes built-in raises each year. So Dan Mullen, Mississippi State coach, getting a contract extension and a pay raise for a job well done. And at the end of the day, it's all about performance, and he obviously performed. And as Old Boy says, he got her done. Somebody who's getting her done on the NASCAR track again, Kyle Larson. Let's catch up with him and see what he's got to say about the testing yesterday at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Okay, good afternoon, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Appreciate everybody being here today. And it's great to be here for the 56th Annual Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. And I'd be remiss not to make sure that you all visit the Quick Trip display over here on our side here. Kyle, in fact, grab something on your way out if you'd like to. But we're pleased to be joined by Kyle Larson. And Kyle, of course, was the 2014 Sunoco Rookie of the Year in the Sprint Cup Series. He drives the number 42 Energizer Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. And Kyle, certainly you look like maybe the first car out there this afternoon. Just talk about your car and talk about how maybe things went for you in the first part of this test.
Yeah, we were all pretty anxious to get out there. I think this is really what I feel like the start of our season is, because this is the majority of size racetracks we run on. So, I was excited to get out there. First car out. Track had a lot of grip at first, so that's why me and Jamie are both up there, I think. But it was fast. I felt like the car really didn't drive much different than how it did with the old rules package. This track's pretty tough to run on, anyways. So the characteristics between the way the car is handled were about the same. So that's good. Nice that Chip Ganassi Racing is 1-2 after this first test. So hopefully we can carry the speed on throughout the rest of the weekend and rest of the year.
Kyle Larson again getting ready to qualify later on today at 5:30 in the Energizer Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing, the Sunoco Rookie of the Year in 2014. And so they're practicing as we speak in Atlanta at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And they'll do qualifying later on this afternoon at 5:30. Of course, by Monday, the smoke will have cleared, and we will find out who won the second race of the young NASCAR Sprint Cup season. Triple header tomorrow, the Xfinity Series and the trucks tomorrow, and, of course, the big race, the Sprint Cup Series, on Sunday. Coming up, we'll still hear from Carl Edwards and David Ragan. Baseball news. First appearance in a New York Yankee uniform in 17 months. A-Rod cheered when he steps out on the field with his teammates shortly before noon. Cheered again when he came out of the dugout for batting practice about an hour later. Crowd oohed and awed when the ball seemed to jump off his bat. Applauded when 3 of the 36 swings he took resulted in baseballs landing beyond the outfield fence. So 36 at-bats, and he hit 3 home runs. That's not bad for a 40-year-old guy.
Well, no, and it just goes to show you the people up there are going to be quick to forgive. Of course, they're starving for something good to happen with the Yankees. So if this is the solution, it's a sad state of affairs.
There you go.
Sorry.
So A-Rod is cheered today. Also out of the baseball camps, Adam Wainwright, starting pitcher, the ace, by some's estimation to be the ace of the staff of the St. Louis Cardinals. and will not pitch in an exhibition game until mid-March because of an abdominal strain. Could prevent him from being the Cardinal ace from the starting lineup on April the 5th in the home opener against the Cubbies. So Wainwright hurt Monday while putting a 45-pound weight back on a rack. So pulled a muscle, returned to St. Louis for an examination. Said the injury was minor, should be okay. Are these guys players today versus days gone by? Are these guys, what would be the adjective, softer than the players back in the day?
I think they are.
Yeah.
Well, you think about all the amount of money that's invested in these players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these managers and these team owners, they're going to say, you even have a itch behind your ear. I want to know about it.
There you go.
You know, as much money as we're forking out for you, we don't want to see you get up there and do something that's going to ruin your career and ruin our chances of revenue.
Wainwright will avoid running and weightlifting for at least the next couple of days, but can resume throwing because his delivery and follow-through does not cause any discomfort. Well, okay. I mean, what's the problem? I mean, he's a pitcher, so if he can – maybe read this again now, make sure I got this right. He can resume throwing because his delivery and follow-through did not cause any discomfort. So what's the problem? I mean, he's paid to be the pitcher. If he can throw and it doesn't hurt him, then –
yeah, but there's always that what if. And like I said, it's all about the money, I'm telling you.
You're right. He'll avoid running and weightlifting for the next couple of days, but he can throw. So I don't understand the problem. But, again, this guy's the ace and getting paid big bucks, and they can ill afford it to have him on the sideline because of –
well, exhibitions games are meaningless.
Yeah.
And they know what he's capable of, and they know what he can do. And why take the chance? Why take the chance?
Wainwright and the Cardinals say he needs at least 3, preferably 4 spring training starts to be ready for the season. So, anyway, that's what's going on in the Cardinal camp out of Major League Baseball right now. Adam Wainwright's been temporarily, I wouldn't say shelved, but kind of held up a little bit in his preseason training for an abdominal strain, which means pulled something in his belly. Is that right?
Yep.
I mean, you just want to cut right to it. Being a country boy, he pulled something in his belly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Strained a muscle.
Let's see. Let's switch over real quick before we go to the break and hit the top of the hour. The National Football League, what's going on there? Combine drills. NFL will reconsider tweaking its long-standing timing and testing drills at the scouting combine this offseason.
Please tell me this has nothing to do with Mr. Winston.
I knew that's where it was going. I knew.
Man.
I feel like it just reeled that big old catfish, put it in there and reel him in. Yep.
Oh.
NFL has used a standard set of drills, a 40-yard dash, a 20-yard shuttle, and 3 cone drill at its scouting combine for several decades, including the most recent combine held earlier this month in Indianapolis. And now they're saying there's been a ton of studies done that say maybe this is not what we need to be doing. So
studies.
Now
the studies are by those that make money.
No, exactly. Saints coach Sean Payton, who also spoke as part of the panel on this, anticipated changes in the combine process. So you may see those change. Now, if you go back, was it 2 weeks ago, Jameis Winston said, I'm going to show up, but I'm not going to throw. So maybe it may be a result of him. Who knows? I hope not. Hope the tail's not wagging the dog and they're going to react to him.
It's not about football anymore. It's all about the entertainment and the money. I'm sorry. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, anything we talk about, it's about the money.
Well, that's what drives it.
We went to Vito's. I got chicken parmesan. You know, it's all about the money.
That's what drives professional sports.
Yeah, you're right. I know that. So.
And it's entertainment. And, it's not about playing the game anymore.
And not necessarily pro, but also college sports, big business
and
too.
It's seeping down to that level very much so. Yes.
You got a coach making $4.275 million, and of course that's not even close to the big bucks.
Oh, I can get on my soapbox on that too, but I ain't going to.
The Sabins and the other coaches around
Florida
the country
State.
making some major buckos.
Florida State.
Yep. There you go. So college sports is big business as well, no question about that. So anyway, that's what's going on there with the NFL may be tweaking and reevaluating the combine drills where they bring the players in and they're actually evaluated. So if you don't do that, so my next question is going to be, if you do away with it completely, which I'm not saying that, they're going to tweak it, then how am I going to how do I invest my money as an owner of a football team in you, and I don't know if you can do what I want you to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, how else do you evaluate them? You have to evaluate. You can't just go – I mean, you can always go back and watch college film and go, boy, against this team, he was really good. But
now I can see where you can make a case for some of these players who have played 4 years of college ball. There's tons of film on them. There's tons of data on those players. Okay, and you get somebody that's trying to be, quote, a walk-on, so to speak, and he gets invited to the combine, and he has to show his wares, where there's nothing for him to fall back on. They've got to have something in front of them to see what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
I can see where the combine would benefit somebody like that, and that players that have been playing for years and years, and there's a lot of information on them. I don't know.
It's all about the what?
It's the money.
All about the money. I love it.
The money.
Yeah, the money.
We don't want our guy to get hurt, even if he's trying out for a team or showing himself.
We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Hour 2 coming up on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Straight ahead, we're going to be hearing from Carl Edwards, tested yesterday in Atlanta, practicing as we speak. We'll see what he has to say. I can tell you what he says. He loves Atlanta Motor Speedway, one of his best and favorite tracks. Also, later on in the show, David Ragan, who's now for the time being, the 18 Crispy M&M Toyota, driven now by the David Ragan for the injured Kyle Busch, and we'll hear from him. And also run down another big night for high school basketball. Lots of hoops around the region. They've been on hold, as you've known, for several weeks, literally. And so a lot of hoops tonight. We'll run down who's playing where, so you may want to jump out there and go. Also, bull riding tonight at Freedom Hall in Johnson City. Are you a fan of bull riding? See to that?
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about some athletes.
Yeah.
Those guys have got to be tough.
They're crazy is what they are.
Well, they're crazy, but they're tough, too.
I admire them. 8 seconds on a bull. Now, see, there again, let's go back to, would you want to sit in front of the TV, my 857-inch screen TV, to watch Star Wars, Tom, or would you like to go to the bull riding? Bull riding. So, Star Wars, science fiction. You give me a cowboy movie, or in this case, bull riding.
I do both.
I'm there. Well, I know you would, but if I given a choice, I'm going to go watch bull riding. So, in fact, I may do that tonight. Freedom Hall. Give me some popcorn, sit up there, and scream and holler and have a big time. But anyway, that is going to be this weekend at Freedom Hall in Johnson City. Quick break. We'll be right back. Again, we are glad you are with us here on this Friday, Feb 27, as you are watching and listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance, because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no. Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance, even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
See what might be hiding in your coverage at farmers.com/gaps.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Welcome back to Tom Thurber Sports Show, hour number 2 of our Fun and Frolic on this Friday, February the 27th. Fun and Frolic's what it's all about. We love having fun, giving you sports, giving you information, and have a little fun at it while we're doing it. And the thought for today, brought to you by Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. The greatest enemy of excellence is good. The greatest enemy of excellence is good. We're supposed to soar for excellence, strive for excellence. So the greatest enemy of excellence is good, and I would totally agree with that. And that's brought to you by Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance at 282-1389. We'll tell you more about Nationwide coming up here in just a few minutes as we can do it right now. Let's go ahead and tell you about these great folks at Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side, and here it is. It's called identity theft. And you know anybody that's ran into identity theft?
Yeah, me.
You've had it?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Tell me about it.
This was back when I was doing my other job.
Okay.
But took a vacation down to Florida with the man-child and the missus, and we speculate that this particular hotel that we stayed at, someone got my information, including a credit card number, and the next thing I know, my credit card's being ran up the hill, and they actually took enough information from me. They called my credit card company, represented me, had my credit limit increased, and changed my password on my account.
Wow. So
I found them.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah.
You tracked them down?
I tracked them down. They were in Chicago.
Really? I mean, you got names and everything.
I had a name.
Did you make a phone call? You let somebody else make a phone call?
Oh, I had to file the proper procedures. But yeah. So, but
so,
I got it cleared up, squared away.
Were they prosecuted?
I have no idea.
You just got your end cleared up.
Let me put it this way: the Postal Inspector Service for the United States, they handle identity theft fraud in that manner with the credit cards.
Ah.
And I turned the information over to them. Whatever happened, I don't know.
There you go. But you got back what.
But
you
I did
needed.
their work for them, so I don't know.
There you have it. Someone's identity like his is stolen every 3 seconds in this country. Don't let it be yours. Protect yourself with the identity theft coverage from Nationwide Insurance. Comprehensive program designed to actively prevent, detect, and resolve any threats to a member's identity. So it was a hassle. Chronologically, how long did it take you to get it cleared up? A year, 6 months, 2 weeks?
I want to say 4 months, 5 months.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
There you go. So this is you can buy a separate or add to the homeowner's policy. Identity theft with Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. Give him a call, 282-1389. 282-1389, Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance, and they can help. They'll contact the credit bureaus, assist in replacing your ID, obtain a list of creditors, report fraudulent activity, review credit and non-credit records, emergency cash advance, access to a doctor to help you with medical identity theft. Will do all that for you. Nationwide is on your side. Again, 282-1389. Again, the thought for the day, the greatest enemy of excellence is good. I like that. Strive for excellence and good. Strive to be the best. That's what we're trying to do on this show as well. Give you the best possible show every day from 1 to 3. And we were talking last night at dinner. It won't be that long. I don't think that we'll have to expand this thing to 3 hours. What do you think?
I think, well, by the time we get to the fall, with all that stuff that's going to be going on, I'd say that's a good possibility.
There you go. Or even into the early spring, maybe even summer. All right, so practice round 1 is done in Atlanta. The 5 fastest cars, Kevin Harvick, 192.607 miles per hour. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, David Ragan subbing for Kyle Busch, the 6th fastest out on the track. How about that?
Yeah.
The slowest, we mentioned Brendan Gaughan from Premium Motorsports, and also Jeb Burton are the 2 slowest right now And so practice continues now. The short track and intermediate track qualifying, here's how it works. It'll be going on at 5:30 today. Everybody goes out for 15 minutes in round 1. Then you have a 7-minute break. Round 2 is the top 24 race vehicles. They'll be out there for the 10 minutes, and you'll take your best time out of the top 24, and then they'll take another 7-minute break. And after that 7-minute break, come out for the top 12 racing, the top 12 race vehicles for 5 minutes to determine. So everybody for 15 minutes, 7-minute break, top 24 stand on their times. That's after a 10-minute window. Another 7-minute break, and then they'll take the top 12 of that. That'll set the first 6 rows for the running of the race on Sunday.
Whatever happened to just the plain old qualifying?
It's all about the – go ahead and say it.
I don't know what they're trying to prove here, what they're trying to do. Is it make it better? They're actually racing one another. You stand a chance of wrecking.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to spin out or wreck your car during qualifying, but the chances and the odds are greater if you're out there racing with people, trying to increase your speed and do well. Then, I mean, I guess it's for the fans. The fans want to see them race to qualify. I don't know.
I'm just perplexed.
I'm old school. I'm old school.
Yes, you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. Not a thing wrong with that. And a lot of folks like it. A lot of folks would like to see it go back to the way it used to be, where you went out and raced against yourself, right?
Yeah.
Instead of somebody else.
How fast can you go?
Racing against the clock and against yourself.
And if you're doing that, you don't have to worry about running into somebody if you're trying to hit your mark.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Yeah, because the knockout sessions really, to some degree, has become a cat and mouse thing anyway. You know, last week it started talking about when they're going off the track, when they're coming on the track, and so.
And you think about it, if you got somebody that's really got something out against you and doesn't want you to qualify well, and they don't care where they stand, or they have a bad car anyways, what's to say they're not going to get in front of you and slow you down?
Well put. So, anyway, they're going as we speak. They're practicing in Atlanta for about another 19 minutes or so. They're going to clear the track and let the Camping World Truck Series do their practice session at 2:30, and then they'll come back at 5:30. The Coors Light qualifying, pole qualifying for Sunday's running of the Folds of Honor race coming up on Sunday afternoon at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I love the name of this race, and so they're going to be doing that again on Sunday, and again pole qualifying is this afternoon at 5:30. The Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. All right, as promised, let's bring in Carl Edwards. Edwards was in a practice session yesterday. Loved it. He loves Atlanta Motor Speedway. There's a reason why. He's very good at that track. And so without further ado, let's bring the driver of the Horace Toyota onto the scene. Again, with now Joe Gibbs Racing, here's Carl Edwards.
Okay, joining us now is Carl Edwards. And Carl drives the number 19 Horace Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And Carl, certainly, as we were talking about here a minute ago, this probably ranks one of your favorite racetracks, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that picture's a little hidden with the coffee machine and the donuts over there, but that was a change, like turning point in my life right there at that moment. So this place is it's fun, and it's as good as ever. I mean, it's fun to drive here, and I like it.
And just you talk about this racetrack. What about this track sets it apart in your mind to make the racing good here?
Well, it's just it's a fast track with a lot of character. There's not the corners aren't perfect. There's bumps and seams and spots with no grip and spots with a ton of grip, and it's not perfect. It's got character, and it's just when you throw the car down in the corner here, you toss that thing in sideways at 195 miles an hour, and you got to manage your tires. It's just a real fun racetrack. If you don't have the fastest car in one area, you can make it up somewhere else, and you just have to drive the whole way. It's a good place to race.
That's right in your wheelhouse, isn't it? That type of driving.
Yeah, it's good. To me, we could race here every week. I'd be happy. So I love it.
Questions for Carl Edwards? We'll take Rick Minner, and then we'll come over here to the Jeff and Bob. Go ahead, Rick Minner, right here. Dana.
Rick Minner, Racing Day. Carl, if it comes down to you and somebody else on a last lap shootout, is the outside still the groove to take?
It's going to be tough because what's happened is what happens here is you go out there right now. When we went out this morning, the track's green from top to bottom. It's got a ton of grip. And then as we run, the rubber fills in and it gets slicker the more people run in certain areas. So the groove migrates around. And I think by the end of the race, there are enough guys now that go run the top that the top gets a little worn out. You've got to really search around and find grip. So it kind of depends on the cycle. You know, when you start the race, everybody on the bottom, they'll move up. And then if everybody moves to the top, they'll get that worse, and everybody will move back down, and it kind of cycles through the event. But I'll tell you this. If I'm second driving under the white flag, whichever lane the guy goes in turn one, I'm going to go the opposite lane. I mean, that's what's neat about this place. You don't have to follow a guy. There's no perfect preferred line. You can make things work anywhere.
And that's Carl Edwards, again, getting ready to qualify later today. Again, at 5:30 is when they'll get with it for Coors Light pole qualifying for the race coming up on Sunday. They'll drop the green flag Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock from Atlanta Motor Speedway. The next week they head off to Vegas. I was noticing, trying to find out who's – I know this is goofy, but I'm always curious who's going to sing the national anthem. I don't know why. That's just something I want to know about.
It's almost like they're running out of people to pick.
Yeah. Well, it says TBA. They have not even announced it yet in Atlanta unless – and this is the most current, and I'm scanning this, and I don't see it. It says TBA. So, I mean, we're 2 days away.
Announced.
Yeah. I'm sure they've got it. Just haven't updated.
Anybody. Or they had somebody that backed out.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they've already announced next week in Vegas you got Rascal Flatts going to sing the national anthem.
Yeah,
so,
I like Rascal.
Yeah, so they're going to do a little singing next weekend for the national anthem in Vegas. But, again, it says TBA right now for the national anthem and the Grand Marshal and everything, all those, the pre-race.
It's all TBA.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what they're going to have with the Speedway coming up in April, too.
They people we know have no clue.
At Bristol? Nah, they'll get –
I'm talking about Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. It's like Tom and Horace going to sing the national anthem. Oh, say. Yeah, so anyway, that's what's going on in Atlanta. And, again, the fastest right now have been Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano. And practice time, again, they'll qualify at 5:30 this afternoon. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, we thank you for being with us. By the way, Edwards last year in the Atlanta race. Let's see. Carl Edwards, he in Atlanta back in August of a year ago. He started 11th and finished 5th. So what do you think you made in Atlanta to win the race? What kind of money do you think you made?
In Atlanta?
Yep. To finish 5th in the race in Atlanta a year ago, what did he bring home his winnings, do you suppose?
5th place, $700,000.
Oh, no, far lower.
Far lower?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking Daytona then.
Yeah.
350.
Lower. $147,505.
For a 5th place finish in Atlanta in a NASCAR major race.
Yep.
That sounds low to me.
Yeah. That's what it says. The winnings in Atlanta, the winnings were $147,505. So he won in Sonoma, won $341,000 a year ago. So that seems low too to win $341. Maybe it could be his pocket. It's a bigger purse. That may be his take home.
Maybe not the team's take.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure $147,000 last year to finish 5th. I mean, that'll buy us a couple trips to Food City.
That'll buy a few sponsorships here.
I was going to say some Pop-Tarts and Beanie Weenies. So anyway, Edwards and the folks are going to be qualifying again. Harvick on the pole a year ago, finished 19th. And Casey Kane started 10th and won the race a year ago, so we'll find out how it goes a little bit later on. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll come back, and we will set the field for lots and lots of basketball tonight. And that's good to hear that the weather's finally starting to break to the point folks can get back in the gym. And there's a lot of games to decide, a lot of things tonight, both in Virginia and Tennessee and Virginia, boys and girls. We'll tell you who's playing and where they're playing and when they're playing, all that coming up. Right after this, on this Friday, we thank you for being with us on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
See what might be hiding in your coverage at farmers.com/gaps.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Baylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on this Friday, Feb 27, day number 15 of our Fun and Frolic. We are finishing up. Is this our third week? Is that right? Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
We started midweek.
We start on the 9th.
Yeah.
On the 9th. Is that right? It's our third week. We're finishing our third week.
Oh, wow. I thought it was, well, we're zipping right along here.
Yeah. Zippity-doo. I have more fun than the law allows. All right. Again, final practice. Again, they got 4 more minutes at Atlanta Motor Speedway to wrap up the practice, and then they'll come back to qualifying at 5:30, positions 1 through 36. All right, you're a father, which you are. You have a 10-year-old son who's a really, really good athlete.
Okay.
10 years old. You have folks calling you now and contacting your 10-year-old son in a recruiting kind of way.
We're talking about LeBron James and his son.
Yes, we are. LeBron James, coach, is already pursuing his 10-year-old son, LeBron Jr., and the Cavaliers superstar believes there should be rules against schools tracking young children. Earlier this week, James told a Detroit radio station his namesake has received scholarship offers from some unnamed schools. Guys, kid's 10 years old. That puts him, what, 4th grade?
This has nothing to do with his abilities. Now, I'm not saying he's not a good basketball player. I saw he posted some highlights of his son playing ball. So his son's got some talent as a 10-year-old basketball player, but there are a lot of other players that are just as good as he is at that age. This is all about LeBron James, about his name,
sure.
being him. He was his father. You know, what notoriety am we going to have saying, hey, we got LeBron James' son at our school?
10 years old.
10, that's
4th grade.
It's ridiculous.
Right? Yeah. Be 4th grade, 3rd, 4th, depending where he's, when he started school, but 4th grader being offered college scholarships. 4th grade.
No.
See, I'm like LeBron. I'd say.
No.
And
there needs to be some rules put in place about when someone can start looking, and even more so when a college can officially approach somebody and offer them some incentives to come to
what age do you think it is? What would be, for the man-child, what would be a fair age for someone who would have come to him and offered him a college scholarship, start talking to him?
I don't think anybody should be approached until they're 15 or 16 years old.
Okay.
You can watch them. Don't get me wrong. I think these colleges can have some people on their radar. Nothing you can do about that. But as far as approaching somebody and saying, hey, we've been watching you, we got some, no. That, man-child plays some AAU basketball in the summer months.
Yes.
Okay? And at that point in time, yes, he was out there presenting his wares in front of college coaches during the summer basketball. But he was freshman, sophomore, junior in high school. I mean, that's when it all starts to come together. So I don't think a college should be jumping onto these kids when they're not even in middle school. That's ridiculous.
10 years old.
That's ridiculous.
4th grade. He's getting college scholarships from unnamed schools.
And that's all about the money. Again, it's all
about
LeBron James and his pocketbook.
That's unbelievable. 10 years old. All right. So if I'm a father or a grandfather, I'd be a little jacked up over that. That's way over the top. 10 years old. And I agree with him, but I don't know how do you regulate it? That's the key. How do you keep these people away from, he's out playing on a Saturday morning basketball league or whatever, a travel team. How do you keep a college coach from coming over and watching him play? I mean, I guess they can come watch and play. How do you keep him from non-contacting your kid?
Well, I think in the NCAA, if word got out that coaches were showing up and there was contact made, then I think they can take scholarships away from those teams.
Yeah. Interesting.
But that's just me.
It's all about the
money.
Bingo. There you go.
Ka-ching. I got to find me a sound effect for the jingling money.
You got to hear some jingle, some
coins.
Yeah,
we got to get some jingle.
It's all about the clink, 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 clink money. All right. Here we go. Let's give you run up and down the list for you. AAA boys basketball tonight. Science Hill, Jeff County at 6 o'clock. Sevier County will be at Viking Hall to battle Tennessee High at 6 o'clock. Dobbins Minute on the road at South Doyle at 6 o'clock tonight. Davy Crockett, the Pioneers, David Crockett hosting Morristown East in Jonesboro at 7 o'clock tonight. All in AAA. Winners move on. Losers eliminated. In the AA tournament, you have at 4 o'clock coming up here in about an hour and a half, Elizabethton and Granger at 4, Sullivan South and Greenville at 5:30, and they'll play those games again at the Dyer Dome on the campus of Sullivan East in Bluff City. Also in the single A today, Berean Christian will be at South Green at 5 o'clock. Northview Academy traveling, and the Hampton Bulldogs will host them at 6 o'clock. Love watching the Hampton Bulldogs play. Those guys can play.
We watched them play earlier.
Yeah, in the Hardee's Classic?
Yeah.
Oh, man, they can do it. And also University High, the Junior Bucks will be at Cosby tonight, and a 6 o'clock tip-off. All that's in single-A boys play. Now, girls regional pairings tonight. You have South Doyle and Science Hill finally getting to play at 6 o'clock tonight. That'll be at the Science Hill Gym. Also, the semifinals tonight of the single-A. South Greens ladies will be taking on Cloudland in Game 1 at Chucky Doak High School at 5 o'clock. Game 2, North Greens ladies against the Hampton Lady Bulldogs at 6:30 tonight. And that'll be happening also, both of those at Chucky Doak High School in Afton, Tennessee. Tri-Cities Christian girls won 55-11. They did that yesterday, and so the Tri-Cities girls will play Pleasant View at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time tonight. In the semifinals, the Christian State Basketball Championship. And the boys of Tri-Cities will play Macon Road at 8:30 tonight, Eastern Standard Time in the semifinals, too. And that's being played down in Franklin, Tennessee. Now let's go to the let's go to the ladies' side of things, and we did that for the single A. Let's go to the ladies. Let's finish the Virginia for the boys before we go to the ladies. In Virginia, yesterday semifinals, Twin Springs beat J.I. Burton and the Eastside beat Castlewood in the Conference 48 tournament, and so also. In the Conference 40 tournament, Gate City's Blue Devils, Scotty Vermillion does such a great job coaching Gate City, and they beat Lebanon. Union defeated Virginia High. So tonight at 7:30 at Virginia High School, Gate City's Blue Devils take on Union at 7:30 in the Conference 40 tournament championship at Virginia High School tonight. And also in the Conference 48 tournament at UVA Wise, Twin Springs and Eastside will play at 7:30 tonight. Now, let's see. Okay, for the ladies, let's get those in, too. Gate City Conference 40 tournament. Gate City's Lady Blue Devils beat Union, and Y Central's ladies beat Lebanon last night. And so they'll play. Gate City will play Y Central at 6:30 for the Conference 40 tournament championship. Castlewood battles Clintwood for the Conference 48 tournament championship. That'll be UVA Wise at 6 o'clock tonight. Again, the Gate City Y Central game will be at 6:30 at Y Central. Also tonight, the undefeated and very talented Elizabethton Lady Cyclones will play at 7 o'clock tonight for the Region 1 AA championship for the Lady Cyclones, the defending state champ. We've seen them several times this year, and the Mayorsight girls can flat play. The twins, only juniors. You know, I looked at his roster the other day, Elizabethton. They only lose 2 girls.
Yeah, they're going to be tough next couple of years.
3 maybe, but, I mean, they lose the Petrowski girl. She's the senior. I don't have the roster in front of me, but I know the Mayorsight twins are back next year. I mean, he's got a lot coming back to go in for 2015 and 16. He being Lynn Duggar, the head coach of the Elizabethton Lady Cyclones. So that's all the action going on around the region. Again, everything else will be played tomorrow night. And again, as we said, we're being told now that the Region 1 AAA Girls Tournament Championship will be Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Buck Van Hus Dome in Kingsport. I guess that's about all they can do to get that in, because the sectional or the sub-state is Monday night. So, yeah, they got to play it because the championship, I guess they can play it tomorrow, but they're not. So they're going to play it on Sunday afternoon at the Buck Van Hus Dome in Kingsport. I'm like you. I hope it is not a precedent for things to come. I should say. I don't want them to be playing basketball on Sunday. I don't think that would be his day. And, of course, every day is his day. So,
now, I said last week there's a simple solution to all this, but they won't do it.
What would that be?
Just, keep playing, and the higher-seeded team hosts the ball game. You don't have to worry about going to Murfreesboro on a specific date and time.
Horace ciphers a lot. He studies things, and he's exactly right. That'd be an easy way to eliminate all the problems and the fiascos. Just do it that way.
Yeah.
So, speaking of fiasco, Boone Lake, a lot of reaction, understandably so. Folks that depend on that lake to make a living are up in arms. Homeowners up in arms. We're talking a year from now, the water's going to stay down. So, it's going to financially devastate some folks.
I can't see how these marinas will survive, not without some assistance from some sort.
I mean, what do you? I mean,
they're
what can you do?
They're dry dock.
It's dry dock. It's dirt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess the food will continue and the bands will continue. I guess they'll have to get creative to get folks to come out to their place. But as far as buying gas and all the things you buy at a marina to get out there and do fishing, I mean, that's gone. So for a year, and then again the homeowners, and then the other question, and I never even thought about this. What about if Boone Lake's down like it is? What about the folks on down that depend on that water to come through the dam and go on downstream below the dam? They're going to be impacted too because that water's not going to be coming.
Yeah.
So now they did say they're going to guarantee that the water levels for people that use the lake are going to be okay unless there's a drought. So, and I don't know what you do if there's a drought. We go an extended period of time with no rain. Then what do? You'll release water from one of the lakes above, and I mean, I don't know how that works. So
you got me.
Yeah.
I think this is a big, big problem.
Oh, I think it's a lot bigger than
that they're willing to let on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's going to impact a lot of people. So.
And the sad thing about it is they're going to rush into a fix. You watch it. They're going to try to go the cheapest route and the fastest route to try to have the least economic impact on everybody that's concerned about it. And it may not necessarily be the right route.
Mm-hmm. So. Now, they said they found sinkholes down at the bottom of the dam. Is that correct? Is letting the water seep?
I think there were some sinkholes that they discovered, or at least one or two, and that water, of course, went under the dam then, went into the bedrock and was seeping through the bedrock under the dam and coming up to the other side. So
your homework assignment was to find out where the fish go when they drop the water in the winter, and you didn't find it.
Man, there's nothing out there about where fish run off to. Now there is some little few articles about winter time when the lakes freeze over and stuff like that, but that has nothing to do with water drawing down. There's a couple articles in there about droughts and where the fish go when the water dries up. But as far as this situation, basically, I guess the drought situation is the closest. They just migrate to where the water is. The deepest parts of where the water is.
But my point is, there is no deep water now.
No,
I mean it's just a mere stream instead of a lake. So
and during the wintertime, I know bass and sunfish, they'll go as deep as they can. They're cold-blooded, and they'll reduce their metabolism, and they'll even burrow into the substrate there and just kind of sit. So,
but there's no water. My point.
Well, if there's no water, they're dead. They're going to try.
I know that, but I mean, there's very little water. Right. So, I mean, I guess my question is, why haven't we heard about a mass fish kill? Because the water's been dropped. So they have gone.
Water drops all winter long, anyways. The water's not that much further down than what it normally is during the winter months. But so.
So the bottom line is, your homework assignment was not successful.
No, you gave me a hard one.
Yeah.
There's no right answer.
I should have asked Crum yesterday. We'll ask him next week.
Yeah,
where do the fish go when the water drops? Yeah. So do they go through the spillway? Do they go upstream? They swim in the other direction? They just throw up their hands and say, I quit? What do the fish do? So I don't know. All right.
Maybe Gator knows.
Makes things so difficult. Yes, the Gator may know. Now, I'll tell you what he does know. He knows how to cut hair.
He does know how to cut hair.
Yeah. And the man-child goes there. You go there.
Yep.
Before you go out on vacation, you're going to get your locks sheared again?
Oh, it'll probably happen first of the week next week.
Really?
Yeah, if not Saturday, tomorrow.
Now, are you on a calendar? Or you just kind of start feeling a little rough?
I just feel, if it's if I need a shave and the hair's up there and needs to be scalped, I'll just pick a time and go.
So, I mean, do you start feeling a little shaggy, or is it just you're on a calendar going, that's the second Saturday, I need to go get my hair cut?
No, I take a look at myself and I say, that's too long. Now, I'll have to bring out some pictures of me when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, I had thick black hair.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And in middle school and then early in my high school days, they was shoulder length.
Down where mine is.
Oh, yeah.
Or even farther, longer?
Not that long, no.
Yeah.
But the Marine Corps changed all that.
Marines said, let's get
Yeah, they took it off, and it's never been back.
Never been back. There you go.
A little bit, but never been back the way it was.
And not coming back.
Not coming back.
No, not coming back. All right. Let's see. Before we go to the break, let me tell you about if you live in Johnson City, youth softball registration, T-ball registration, adult softball registration, and then youth kickball registration. That's kind of caught my fancy, a little kickball. Did you play kickball in school?
Yeah, they can't do it anymore.
No.
I can't believe they took away kickball.
I know they took away dodgeball and kickball.
Dodgeball, kickball. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Some school systems in this country, I don't know about around here.
Little
apparently,
Johnny might get hurt.
Yeah, they eliminated. This is a true. I read this. They eliminated Red Rover. Remember Red Rover?
Red Rover.
Send Horace right over. And he's snorting like a bull. And he goes, and we're holding those arms.
Yeah.
And we're afraid to hurt the little children's arms and pull their arms out of the socket if somebody like big old bull like Horace comes running. But really. And dodgeball, we can't play dodgeball because you get put out early. It'll hurt your feelings.
Yeah, political correctness is running amok right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I mean, the kids learned right and wrong and how to win and how to lose by playing these games.
It's not going to get any better. Realize.
It's not.
I'm talking about political correctness.
I know it's not.
The door's open.
It's crazy.
It is not going to go back the way we had it. I promise you.
Did you hear about the University of Minnesota?
No.
Okay, this was in the news last night. The University of Minnesota,
Hang on. Let me get ready.
the president of the University of Minnesota has dictated that his local law enforcement, campus police cannot use race in any type of description when they put out a security alert. In other words, if someone is assaulted on campus and someone sees who did it and can give a description, they can't say white, black, Asian, Indian, nothing. They can't use race anymore.
Well, how do you describe them to go get them?
That's what I'm saying. It's
now,
political.
wait a minute.
They're afraid. I forget how did they put it?
Profiling.
Over profiling.
So if you put out an APB, we've had a break-in on campus in the cafeteria, and people are stealing food. Well, be on the lookout for
a white male. No, wearing blue jeans and a red shirt. You can't do white male. Just a male wearing blue jeans and a red shirt.
A guy running across campus with bologna and Pop-Tarts under his arm.
Yeah.
Right? Is that it? What we're doing? You can't make a description of the alleged.
You can't use race. You cannot use race in any type of description.
Well, then what's the point of putting out an APB if you can't describe who the person is or what they look like?
It's crazy.
Oh, I know it's crazy.
There is no point. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's the liberal agenda of our universities now.
That's where we are.
They're preaching this stuff, and our kids are just they're soaking it up.
Well, you would think. But see, here's the difference. Now, we're getting into a whole other can of worms. But see, you and I are raised, we know better.
Yeah.
The kids today, they don't know anything but what they've been taught at this point. So they don't know anything else.
These kids don't even know what an 8-track is.
Right. They've been programmed to think one way in a lot of different situations and making decisions. I mean, a lot of them are more or less told what to do, and they don't get a chance to think for themselves. But logically speaking, if there's let's see if it mushrooms into our culture and it's not just a college campus, and we have a bank robbery at XYZ Bank, and be on the lookout. What is it when they put out as an APB?
APB.
All points bulletin. All points bulletin. Put one out looking for, and then we just say, well, can we say male or female? Can we say gender?
And that's probably the next thing that's going to go away.
It's a guy 6 foot. Well, I couldn't
a person.
Do that.
That's
profiling his height.
Yeah.
So a person is left the bank with an undisclosed amount of money. That's all you could. Well, how are you going to go get him? How are the police going to go get him? Man, that is squirrely.
You're looking at me, and you know me.
I'm confused.
And you know how I feel about that. So.
Yeah. Wow. I did not know that. That came out last night, University of Minnesota.
Well, it was on news, yeah.
Good grief. All right.
They had a sheriff on there from that local county, and he says, flat out, he told the interviewer, if I was a father,
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
If I was a father and I was looking at sending my child off to university, I would check off University of Minnesota. They would not be considered.
Good grief. All right.
I'm sorry. That was a tangent. I had to go out there.
Oh, that's all right. You can't fix stupid, I guess, what the old boy says. But, that's actually not only is it stupid, it's scary.
It is.
Okay.
It's putting political correctness
exactly
ahead of the security of the students on campus.
Yeah, there you go. So, yep, the times, what's the old Bob Dylan song? The times they are changing. There you go. Now, let me tell you about Bristol Motor Speedway. They ain't changing. They're going to put out a great race product coming up in, let's see, we go on air to Bristol Live on the 16th of April. Let's see if we can figure this out. It's, next month it's 31. 2 days left, or 1 day left, that's 32. And 16, what's 32 and 16? 48?
Yep.
Is it that soon? 48 days till Bristol Live. Woo! That's pretty exciting. Picked up another sponsor today, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. Will be on Bristol Live with us beginning April the 16th. You can get your tickets 3 days in April and 2 days in August, 5 days of racing for a $149 ticket. Also, we'll get you into the chance to get tickets for the Battle of Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia Tech football, September a year from now. Also, we'll get you a chance to, when you get your season tickets, to get a pre-race super pass. Put you stage side for the Old Crow Medicine Show be coming up on April the 19th before the start of the Food City 500. You'll get a track walk, and also with that pre-race super pass, you'll get access to the Food City 500 driver intros. Very easy to do that. 423 Bristol is the number to call. And go to the website at BristolTix.com to, again, order your tickets. And you have been, and we thank you for that. Phones have been hopping. Again, once they drop that green flag in Daytona, there's been a lot of chit-chat in the off-season. Once the cars get on the track and racing has begun, as it is this weekend in Atlanta, the phones are ringing at Bristol Motor Speedway ticket office. You heard Drew Bedard tell us last week what's the best case scenario of any race week on the circuit for who to win. Junior wins. He said you can track it. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins. I don't care where they are, whether it's after the spring race, before the fall race, or before the spring race. When he wins, brings home the checkers, the phones ring at Bristol because folks want to come watch the most popular driver in NASCAR. So, and you don't like him. So you don't.
It's overrated. He's just overrated.
You don't like Junior. You don't like Denny Hamlin. You don't like Jameis Winston.
Denny Hamlin has some redemptive qualities, but after he's not on my happy list right now.
Horace has been in a snit. He stays in a snit on things. So now, once we get in your snit house. Not the doghouse, but your snit house. Once you get into how do we get back out? How does Denny Hamlin get back out? Because he can't go back and rewind the tape with Danica Patrick.
Well, he is going to have to show me that he is not going to be a sexist individual.
All right. You don't like Junior because he's overrated? If he wins the championship this year, does he? Do you turn the title on? Do you like the guy?
If he wins the championship, I'm going to say I'll give him credit where credit is due.
Okay.
Will I like him?
No, you're not going to like him.
Probably not.
No.
I mean, I still think he's living off his father's coattails, and he's never going to be his father.
Right.
So, I mean, I would take his father over him any day of the week.
I think he knows that, too. I think deep down he understands that he is a byproduct of his papa, and obviously, and he's not the same driver. And I think he's kind of learned to accept it. A lot of the fans haven't. They still are waiting for him to step up and be. But
he's made more money on endorsements than he has racing on the track.
Oh, yeah.
Let's put it that way.
And his age, I mean, he's starting to get up there a little bit in years, too. I mean, in fact, when Gordon announced his retirement, he said, I got to start thinking about this, too. So he's not going – the time he has left to race, given, I guess, probably another 4 or 5 years, I suppose. I don't know when he wants to quit. But he is not going to be able to obtain the threshold that Dale Sr. did, obviously. Because he's not been that successful to this point up to his career. So, in essence, what I'm saying is he's run out of time. So, running out of time, I should say. So, anyway, he doesn't like Junior. He doesn't like Hamlin. He likes Smoke, and Smoke right now couldn't drive a bread truck. So.
Well, I'm going to point over here, okay? you stick with the Raiders.
Got you.
I'm going to stick with Smoke. All right? Now, Tony Stewart came up. He made himself who he was. I mean, he's made himself to the person the individual he is.
I've hit a nerve.
You
Go
have.
ahead. Yeah.
And Junior's had it fed to him.
There you go.
There's a big difference.
Yeah. So he was Silver Spoon because of his name?
Silver Spoon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Stewart came up through USAC, the midgets, sprint cars, then ran in the Indy Series, and finally into NASCAR. So, no. I mean, show me where Junior earned it.
I love it. Oh, I got him going.
There you go.
Got him going. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We'll hear from David Ragan, who's in the Crispies M&M's Toyota. Also, we'll tell you a couple of other little tidbits A big event coming up tomorrow at the Kingsport Speedway, at the Kingsport Town Center, Fort Henry Mall, on behalf of the Kingsport Speedway. We'll tell you all about that coming up right here after this break on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that it's smart to replace washing machine hoses every 5 years? What if you didn't know that you might need extra coverage for more expensive items? And what if you didn't know that teen drivers are 4 times more likely to get into an accident? So, the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show for a few more minutes. Again, testing is finished up, or practice, I should say, at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And the fastest person was the gentleman we heard from earlier in the show, as a matter of fact. Kyle Larson was the fastest this afternoon in practice. And so they'll now get ready for qualifying, and they'll do that coming up at 5:30 this afternoon. On the track right now, the Camping World Truck Series drivers are getting ready for their race coming up on Sunday. And, again, they'll get ready to drop their green flag for that coming up tomorrow afternoon, and they'll be ready to go for that race. The Hyundai Construction Equipment 200, back for the first time since 2012, and Atlanta Motor Speedway. Ty Dillon won it from the pole back in 2012, and so that's what's going on there at the track in Atlanta. So Cup drivers are off the grid right now, and they'll come back and be ready to go for pole qualifying at 5:30. As we told you at the outset of the show, updates, a trailer carrying a NASCAR racing team's car stolen overnight outside of in Morrow, Georgia, near Atlanta Motor Speedway. According to the driver of the vehicle hauling the trailer, driver says the unmarked white Extreme Racing trailer had the number 44 car inside, was stolen from a hotel sometime overnight. The local authorities have been notified. Again, Travis Quaffle, the driver of the car, so the car, they're not going to be able to race this weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It has apparently been stolen. We've said that, and so Quaffle is in the car this week with, again, Reed Sorensen driving for the other part of this team, Team Extreme, owned by John Cohen. So, again, Sergeant Larry Oglesby of the Morrow, Georgia Police Department has said they are treating the car's disappearance as a stolen vehicle.
You think? It's
you
gone.
Think? That's it's like Barney Fife. It's like, Andy. Well, of course it's stolen. I mean, it's gone. I mean, the truck and the trailers out of the hotel parking lot about 5:30 this morning. Team Extreme Racing can officially confirm they have withdrawn the 44 entry from the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. The 44 hauler was sent ahead of the bad weather that hit the Charlotte area on Wednesday night and parked at Atlanta Motor Speedway. With minor work remaining on the 44 Chevrolet, the car was brought separate from the hauler in an enclosed 26-foot trailer pulled by a pickup. Somebody's got to know that was in there.
Oh, yeah. This is something right out of a movie, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So I wonder if Jerry Reed Yeah. Burt Reynolds had something to do with this. Smoking the Bandit type stuff.
Here we go. Hotel surveillance video shows a theft occurred at 5:32 this morning. According to the police report, a silver or gray Jeep Cherokee was spotted leaving the hotel at the time of the theft. So
somebody dropped somebody off, and they hot-wired the truck, or they had a key.
So you think it's an inside job? Somebody knew about this?
Yes.
I mean, how else would you know? Well, I guess you
might steal a trailer thinking there's something valuable inside of it, and especially if it's a car hauler type. They may think, we might have a Mercedes or something in there that we could use. But
when teams come here to Bristol, I mean, you see these car haulers parked outside the hotels.
Yeah.
So
and they're big.
Yeah, and they're big, and they got the cars in them, and so obviously, but this was not a car hauler per se. This was a trailer being pulled by a dually. This is not the great big semi tractor trailer.
Yeah, tractor trailer car hauler, but it's still you probably got a 30-foot long, maybe not 30-foot, 20-foot long trailer.
Yeah,
because it's got a fifth wheel hitch on it.
26-foot trailer pulled by pickups. What they're saying here. Arrived at the team hotel in Morrow, Georgia, on Thursday night. Now, somebody had to know that car was in there.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, you don't know if it's full of funnel cake machines or whatever it could be, because it's all it's unmarked. It's a black truck and a white trailer that's unmarked. So somebody had to know that car.
Somebody's ex-wife wanted her truck back. She had a key. She took it. Just happened to have a trailer hooked to it when she took it.
But the tough part is Travis Quapple can't race this weekend, and all those guys got that car ready to go, and so they just want their car back.
Yeah, as far from the civil side, there's a lot more at stake here than just someone stealing a material thing. So, think about it. A lot of these pit crews, these aren't going to get paid. You got a lot of things going on here that if they get caught, I think they're going to have to stand before a judge and have to answer some questions.
A couple of notables again for the race. Medallion Bank to sponsor the number 9 Richard Petty Motorsports. Again, we had Sam Hornish Jr. on earlier in the week, and he'll be now in that particular ride. Instead of the Twisted Tea machine, it'll be the Medallion Bank, which is a recreational home improvement lending institution, serving as the primary sponsor of the number 9 in several races, including this one this weekend in Atlanta. So, again, some different paint schemes on some of these vehicles. And I was trying to scan here before we go to David Ragan to see if I can find I'm trying to see who's going to do the national anthem, and I still don't see it. So, anyway, we'll just have to wait and see.
That worries you, doesn't it?
It just drives me nuts. From a marketing standpoint, I mean, I got a PR background, so from a marketing standpoint,
who's going to do the national anthem?
Who's going to do the national anthem? Who's going to say driver start your engines?
It's going to be some choral group from some high school, a local little college that's going to stand out there and do the national anthem.
The West Virginia Doo-Woppers are coming down from the mountains.
I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen because they've got a big name. That's what's going to happen.
But it doesn't bother you. It bothers me.
No.
The national
as long
anthem,
as they don't butcher it, I don't care who sings it.
Yeah, but I always think that's a cool thing. Who's going to say driver start your engines? I always look forward to who they name at the speedway. Also, the honorary starter up in the tower waving the flag, and then the grand marshal that says drivers start your engines. I always think that's cool at Bristol Motor Speedway. And the national anthem. One year I look up and it's Billy Ray Cyrus. One year it's Lee Greenwood. One year it was Daniel Peck. They always have some really cool people. So I'm just be on the cutting edge. 2 days away, you'd think Atlanta Motor Speedway would announce who the national anthem was going to be sung by. I know you don't care. And you're looking at me like, who cares? Let it go, and I will. So there you go. Let's see. Let's check in with David Ragan. It's really a cool story. David, again, yesterday was doing some testing, allowed to do that at Atlanta Motor Speedway, given the fact he's now in the 18 Crispy's M&M Toyota, driving for Kyle Busch this weekend, who, as Horace said earlier in the show, had surgery on his left foot yesterday in Charlotte. And so he's now been operating on his right leg last weekend in Daytona, and they flew him to Charlotte, worked on his left foot. And now they're not talking weeks, they're talking months before he comes back. Hey, he may not come back at all. He made us.
I said the earliest I predicted would be Firecracker 400.
Yeah. It may be August Bristol race. Who knows?
Maybe.
It's up to Kyle and the doctors, but it's not going to be anytime soon. And so for now, this young man who finished 6th fastest in practice this afternoon, let's hear from David Ragan from Atlanta in the 18 M&M's, the crispy M&M's Toyota, subbing in for Kyle Busch.
Better way to finish up the afternoon than to have one of the area's finest join us here, and that's David Ragan, and he's driving the number 18 M&M's Crispy Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And David, as I told you a second ago, you look good in that hat. And how did the car handle for you out there this afternoon, and certainly a lot's happened over the past week or so. So maybe just touch on those two things for me, if you would.
Well, yeah, thank you guys. Good to see everybody. Today was great, really uneventful, and just learning the Joe Gibbs Racing bunch and their process. How they conduct business on a practice day and a race day. So we were fortunate to have a few hours today where we could hot lap our M&M's Camry and just really enjoyed getting to the racetrack. It had been a busy week, and working through a lot of the details, and thoughts are with Kyle this evening and his wife Sam as they're back home, and certainly I'll probably give Kyle a call this evening and touch base with him. It's certainly his team and his program, and I'm fortunate to have the great opportunity to fill in for a little while, and it was good. Atlanta Motor Speedway is one of my favorite tracks to come to for a lot of reasons, but the racetrack's in great shape. Got a lot of speed. The tires fall off throughout the run, so a lot of characteristics that makes it fun to drive. So a lot of fun to hit the track today. The weather worked out just perfect, and I was glad to make a few laps for sure.
Take questions now for David. We'll start over here to the far right, Jeff Gluck, and why not go to Bob Pockers next?
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. David, how did this all come about for you? I mean, what was the timeline like? How was it to work through front row also, and all those logistics? Were there times that you were like, I don't know if this is going to work? Because it seemed like your name was thrown in, and then it was up in the air. Can you take us through kind of all that?
Yeah, well, our situation at front row this year was a little iffy on whether we were going to be able to run the entire schedule. We had some good sponsorship with some of our partners, CSX and KFC for the Daytona 500, but I got a call from one of the management at Joe Gibbs Racing Monday afternoon, and they just asked if I had any interest in talking to them, and they had heard that I wasn't committed, a firm commitment for the full entire Sprint Cup season. So, I told them that I would have some interest if we could get all the parties to mutually agree on a package that would benefit us all. And so, a big shout out to CSX and certainly Front Row Motorsports, Ford Motor Company, and the Joe Gibbs folks and M&M's and Toyota for all kind of making it happen. Certainly this is an unfortunate situation where, their guy is injured, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to get in one of the premier rides in our sport for a little while to kind of see where I stand in my career as a driver, and it's been a few years since I've been with one of the larger teams. So I'm grateful that all the parties involved really worked hard, and that all can benefit us in a lot of different ways. So thankful to them for that. And it all really happened quick Monday night and Tuesday. Obviously, to be down here a day early for a practice session, a lot of the people involved had to have some give and take, and it worked out great.
Yeah, that would be David Ragan again, 6th fastest in practice today in Atlanta. They'll qualify again coming up at 5:30 this afternoon. I was adding up before we get out of here. 27 guests this week.
Wow.
I didn't count the quiz show. That'd be 4 more. That'd be 27 plus 4 would be 31. Yeah. We had 31 guests this week on the show.
That's screaming.
That's awesome. And that's NASCAR local folks. I mean, and we'll pick right back up on Monday and start all over again with week number 4, and that'll be number 16th show coming up. So.
Yes, overall 16.
Yeah, 16 shows.
But if you're on the internet looking for a podcast and whatnot, today is episode 11.
Episode 11, yeah. Well, I'm keeping a tally, so we'll start our 16th day on Monday. So about out of time again, but 31 guests. That's pretty cool, and so we'll have more for you coming up the first of the week. Again, before we get out of here, I want to say thanks to Max Medicine Mart, one of our great sponsors. Make Tracks to Max, Natural Factors product line, 20% off. Today and tomorrow, and then that's it. A brand new supplement comes out on Monday, a brand new month. So you have today and tomorrow to stop by Max Medicine Mart on Center Street in Kingsport. Make Tracks to Max, and you do, and load up on Natural Factors. Everything in the store, Natural Factors, is 20% off for 2 more days. And as we said, the month of March comes with a brand new supplement that you'll save 20% on. That'll do it. Again, I want to say thanks to Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. They start with us on Monday. Wells Fargo Financial Network, the good folks. Again, Jeff Bedford, Tim Colvin, Natalie Wells, and also Greg Taylor. Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. My man, again, Gator Cherokee Barbershop, again on South Roan Street, right down from the Tipton Haynes Working Farm in Johnson City. Barber pole's out. He's in. He's there till 5:30 today. And, of course, he'll be there tomorrow from 8:30 until 1 at Cherokee Barbershop in South Johnson City. Vito's home with the chicken parmesan for you.
Yep.
Baked ziti for me and fried mushrooms for you and Mrs. V.
Yep.
We were there last night. An excellent, excellent Italian food. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
You loved it.
Yeah. I'm an Italian kind of guy anyway.
There you go. And I'm not putting – I mean, we're not puffing it up. It was what it was. It was excellent. Jim Cline, Farmers Insurance, joined us earlier today. Also, Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart, and Tommy the Apester, the lovely Apester from Bracken Asphalt Maintenance. For Horace and all of our guests this week, 31 guests, back with a brand new show next week on Monday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 1 o'clock, or check us out this weekend on the podcast. For Horace and all of our guests, this is Tom Taylor again telling you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. Have a great weekend. So long, everybody.